Suppose here one more here one more print statement, that is called suppose India is my country. India is my country. Jai Hind. So let us compile this one. So see, this is the end of the, this line of code is end of the total instructions, but it is printed after one line of instruction. This line of instruction executed one thread, this line of instruction executed one thread, then so it is to be printed end of this one. So who has printed this one? This is very interesting story, because one thread is engaged to execute this line of code, another core engaged in executing of this line of code. So means one thread is here engaged, one thread is here. So who has executed this one? Neither the first thread nor the second thread. This is executed by the main thread. This is executed by the main thread. Executed by main thread. Okay. So I want to say one thing. Suppose if you don't want to create threads, so neither you have imported any thread, okay, threading module, time module, sleep, if you have keep all of them in comment section, there is no any inheritance, this thread class not passed. So then who will execute all of this? The main thread. Let us see. So I want to keep this. So now okay, this Minglia, this is what, no, we need to sort out this one, no? So it is to be printed end of this line. So here we need to add little bit of code here. That is what obj dot join. It is a method of thread class. Okay, obj1 dot join method. Okay, so now try to understand what the miracle is going on. These join methods, these are as start method, I told you that, run method, these are the methods of thread class, no? Thread class. Thread is imported class of threading module. So this join method, what happened here means until unless first thread is not finished, next thread will not join. So we are indicating that object 1 means thread 2 join after the first thread execution finishes, then object 1 join. Okay, so we are indicating that until unless one thread is not finished, so next thread will not join. Okay, that is the code I have written. So next, what is welcome to India, welcome to India, welcome to India. So finally the India is my country, it printed at end of the list. Okay, so the main thread waits, we are indicating this main thread, the main thread. So and don't join until thread executed, thread 2 joined, thread 2 executed. So whenever thread 2 finishes, then this line of code executed by main thread. So here try to understand. Suppose as I told you that suppose this line of code, the total line of code, whatever I have written here. So if I don't want to create threads, so total code will be executed by the main thread. I will show how. First of all, you need to put this line of code under comment. Why? Because I don't want to import this from threading import. So this one keep under comment section. So now you need to remove this thread class because there is no any inheritance here. Only Ram is a class. Okay, there is no inheritance here. Now this method is part of this Ram class. I have used for loop. Okay, for loop 5 times to print out welcome statement. Okay, for loop, how does it function? Initial value, it will consider as initial value 0. Okay, I is equal to 0. I means what? Counter is equal to 0. Otherwise index value is equal to 0. So whenever I is equal to 0, it print outs welcome. After that I will be incremented inbuilt. Okay, so whenever I incremented, I value will be 1. So that I value will be condition less than or equal to 5. Okay, whenever I value equal to 5, so loop terminated. Okay, so like that I will be 0, then print will be this line of code will be printed. Now whenever I incremented to 1, I1 less than equal to 5, so next printout will be taken. After that I incremented to 2 is less than 5, less than equal to 5, so this is like that. Okay, so next come we remove this code. Okay, there is no any thread class here. Okay, now like 2 objects are created. This is okay, this is okay. Objects are created. Now object dot start. No, why? Because there is no any thread class here. So why do you want to start the start method? I told you that the start method implicitly calls run method, but run method, it is not part of any thread class. Thread class I have removed. So let us see what happened here. Ram object has no attribute start. Means Ram object means class, this class part of an object has no attribute start. Means you call this method, you want to call this obj dot. Obj is for what? Ram class, object for Ram class. So Ram class has no any start method. Ram class has only run method. Okay, so you need to call this as run method. Okay, as run whatever the method name you have given, run, display, doesn't matter, whatever. So it is run, so it is also run. You need to call this as also run. Okay, now execute, compile this one. Still name sleep is not defined. Where is sleep is not defined? Because I told you that this sleep is the method of thread class. Okay, so interpreter means here Python is the interpreter based program. Whatever the code you have written here, that is totally called source code. The source code will be converted into object code, means machine language 0, 1 by interpreter. Interpreter checks line by line. Okay, where if there is an error in 9th line, interpreter stops here until unless the programmer debugs the line of code, it will not go ahead. Okay, now this sleep is not part of your any method, so you keep comment section under this one. Next, execute. So now executed, still somewhat error is there. Let us try. Let us what? Object Ram, object 1, 2 objects created, object dot run. This sleep, you need to keep this sleep also under comment section, because sleep is not, this is a method of thread class. Your thread class is no. So next one, these are join 2 methods. These are not, you need to keep them all in under, because join method is the thread class method. Now let us see what is happening here. So see how it is. Okay, first 5 lines of code executed as per the for loop. Okay, main thread executed them. First main thread, there is no multi-threading here. Main thread execute 1 by 1. Main thread executed 1 by 1. Whenever this for loop terminated, okay, after that it comes to read for second class. So welcome